Okay, so I would like to start this off by apologizing that we do not have any tournament videos. A lot of the people that were supposed to be in the tournament decided not to be in it, so we basically canceled the tournament. And as I promised, this will be the Xyz deck. Okay, as you see, there's a lot of piles everywhere, and one of the important things that you will want with an Xyz deck is effects. You want monsters and spells and traps with good effects to get cards out. So what we're going to start with is this one over here, which in this deck, or in this pile, is just cards to help keep them from attacking you, get stuff off the field for them so you can set up. We have two big eyes to look at the top 5 cards and put them in any order with their flip effect. Those help setting up. Reload if you don't have what you need in your hand. Really good getting things out. Dark Hole if they are just, that actually shouldn't be in that stack, but we'll go ahead and go over it. Dark Hole for if they're not allowing you to get anything, you can go ahead and get rid of what they have out there. Just make them restart basically. Swords of Revealing Light is for setting up so they can't attack you, so you can keep setting up for 3 turns. Giant Trunade to get rid of all their spells and traps so you can attack to help you get set up and everything, because some of these monsters will have high attacks to summon other monsters. As well, a lot of these XZs do have pretty nice attacks. One of the most important things in this deck is making sure you have materials. So a card that I found that's really nice, especially if you have a bunch of Bujingi monsters, is Bujin Regalia the Jewel. It's a trap card that you target one rank 4 XZ monster you control. Equip this card to that target. It gains 300 attack. Also, once per turn, while this card is equipped to a monster by this effect, you can attach one Bujin monster from your hand to the equipped monster as an XZ's material. So it lets you get material onto a card, which is really good for XZ's monsters such as Utopia right here, which whenever it's targeted for an attack and has no material, it is destroyed. So that helps a lot with that card specifically. As you see, there's multiple different stacks for multiple different reasons. Here is level 2 dark monsters, so I can summon number 43 Manipulator of Souls. For those of y'all that don't know how to XZ summon, that is when you have the material out, you stack all the material on top of each other. Let's restart that. Have all the material out, stack it on top of each other, and basically turn it to defense position. They are no longer considered monsters. Their effects do not matter. And then you set the card on top of it, like that. That is XZ summoning. Really decent. A lot of XZ's cards have a lot of really good effects. Now, literally the rest of these cards are just to summon the monsters needed. Is just the material. A lot of them, most of the ones in this one, just need a 2 or 3 and it has a certain level. But such as Gorgonic Guardian or number 43, some of them get a lot harder, where you need, not only do you need the level, but you need something specific like a rock or a pyro or winged beast. Like Manipulator Souls needs the level 2 dark monsters. It can get really complicated when summoning them, which was one of my main problems with this deck before. But also as well, there's plenty of cards to help protect them. Plenty of trap and spell cards. One of the most important trap and spell cards for XZ's cards is XZ's Override. It is a field spell card. I imagine there's a lot more field spell cards for XZ's cards, but this one is probably one of the best. Whenever you activate one of their effects, that would detach a material. You can instead banish one card face down from your hand. Now, I'm not going to go over every one of these cards. They're really, unless you have them and plan on using the effect, not all these are necessary. I'm going to go over these 2, because if you don't have them and you're making an XZ's deck, they're very good. It's a quick effect card, so quick effect trap card. And when your opponent activates a monster effect, detach one XZ's material from monster you control, negate the activation if you destroy that monster. And then High Five the Sky. During your battle phase, target one XZ's monster and that is attacked, and it can attack a second time. And also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. Let's see. So instead of going over all the materials, I'm going to go over my Xyz cards that I have in this deck. These are my rank 6s, because instead of levels, they are ranks. That's why they're over on this side. The stars are over on this side instead of over here like on normal monsters. This one, you can also Xyz summon by detaching one Xyz material from a rank 5 Xyz monster you control, then using the Xyz monster as Xyz material. This card gains 1,000 attack for each card or material that is attached to it, as well as you can detach one Xyz material from this card and destroy all defense position monsters you control. Pretty nice card. Pilgrim Reaper is another one that's a rank 6, requires 2 level 6s. Gains 200 attack and defense for every dark monster in either player's graveyard. So if I went through here, you would see that there's quite a bit of dark material just today, mainly for Pilgrim Reaper. Let's see. We'll go with my rank 3 Gorgonic Guardian. Her effect is that once per turn, you can attach one Xyz material from this card and target one face-up monster your opponent controls. My bad, it's not one per turn, it's during either player's turn. You can do this. And also, her other part of the effect is you can target one monster on the field with 0 attack and destroy it as her effect. Not as a battle. Not as part of her battle. Let's see, we'll go with the rank 5s. See, this is number 14, Greedy Sarmea, if I can see. There we go, so you can see it a little bit. Opponent takes any effect damage you would take from their card effects instead. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can attach one Xyz material from this card, destroy all monsters on the field whose current attack is less than or equal to the original attack of the destroyed monster in the graveyard. Number C101, Silent Honor Dark, is really good if you have number 101 as well to send to the graveyard to use its second part of the effect. Once per turn, you can target one special summon monster your opponent controls attached to this card as a face-up Xyz material. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, while it has Xyz material, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, then gain life point equal to the original attack of this card. But number 101, Silent Honor Arc, has to be in the graveyard for that effect to activate. See, number 43, who I would say is probably one of my main cards that I try to get out with this deck. See, he starts off with no attack, no defense. So if someone has Gorgonic Guardian, that'd be terrible. Once per turn, you can attach one Xyz material from this card and target one number monster in your graveyard. Equip that target to this card. While equipped with the number monster, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Once per turn, when you gain life, except during the damage step, you can make this card gain an equal amount of attack, also inflict that much damage to your opponent's life if this card is still face up on the field. Then we have a bunch of rank 4 monsters. See, that's a problem. I have 2 number 14s, and apparently I read that wrong as a rank 4 instead of a rank 5. That's why I stopped earlier when I was going to those rank 5s. See, it's going to take a minute. See, Castel the Sky Blaster Musketeer. Detach one Xyz material from this card, then target one face-up monster on the field, change it to face-down defense position. Detach 2 Xyz material from this card, and target one other face-up card on the field, shuffle it into the deck. You can only use this effect once per turn, and only once that turn. So it's one of those, because it only uses 2 level 4 monsters, it really is one of those that you get rid of the material pretty quick if you choose to use the effect, unless you have something like this right here, which can keep material on it forever if you have enough Bajingis. See. Evigishki Marrowgeist, I'm assuming is how you would pronounce that. That's, if anyone can find a good pronunciation and drop that in the comments below, that would be nice. After damage calculation, if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can attach one Xyz material from this card, shuffle the destroyed monster into the deck instead of sending it to the graveyard. So say they have a strong monster that you don't want them to Monster Reborn or use Call of the Haunted on, you can activate that and put it back into the deck instead. Number 58, Burner Visor, is a very good card. Once per turn, you can either target one face-up Xyz monster you control, equip it to that target, or unequip this card and special summon it in attack position. The equipped monster can attack your opponent directly. When the equipped monster inflicts damage to your opponent, you can discard one card and inflict 500 more damage to your opponent. Stellar Knight Deltaros. While this card requires 3 level 4s. See, a lot of them get tricky. I was assuming that had 2 at first. Then I read it. While this card has Xyz material, your opponent cannot activate card or effects when you normal or special summon a monster. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target 1 card on your field. Destroy it. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Tellar Knight monster from your hand or deck. I don't have any other Tellar Knight monsters, so I don't use that extra effect. But that would be nice if you do. 39, Utopia. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can attach 1 Xyz material from this card and negate the attack. Then also, as I said earlier, when it's targeted for an attack while it has no Xyz material, destroy this card. Laval Chain is good whenever you need to get more material out. Once per turn, you can attach 1 Xyz material and activate one of these 2 effects. Send 1 card from your deck to the graveyard, or choose 1 monster from your deck and place it on top of your deck. I'm sorry, I got tongue-tied there and misdid that one. Personally, I would not suggest anyone making an Xyz deck unless you have a lot of good cards or you can really figure out how to use it and you battle a lot to figure out how to use it correctly. Personally, I would say you have a rock deck, I would then get Gorgonic Guardian or something like that. If you have a dark deck, get Pilgrim Reaper. I would only suggest using 1 or 2 Xyz cards, depending on what you have for your deck, and adding it to it. You know, say you need to save a bunch of special summoning from your graveyard, you could use Laval Chain. 39 could be used in any deck. It's a decent card there. If you have Tellar Knights, if you have other number cards, number 58 would be good. Any kind of deck would be good there, or any deck would be good with that one. You know, then we have, you know, again, that's one of those that you would have to look at and figure out. I'm not going to say guarantee, but I believe that all number cards do have an upgraded version, which is the number C, whatever the number is. I would not put my life on that, but I'm pretty sure that they do. Let's see. A few of the extra cards I have are, you know, there's just equip cards, creature swap, another equip card, which this is really good in any deck. Equip monster cannot attack and destroy the monster at the end of the controller's second turn. A Dust Tornado, Tribute to the Doomed, and really Eternal Rest. I went over this card in a previous video, so I'm not going over it again. Really, that's about it. Again, wouldn't suggest using a full Xyz deck. It's really hard to use and control, but I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. Hopefully I can get a video up of me using this deck and show its full power. I can't think of anything else. I don't know that I'll be posting for a while. This is all my decks. I've sold my Toon deck, so I won't be able to go over it. But that's about it.